As I look into the clock, it's like 12:12. Wow. Okay. Hello. Um, okay. So I wanted to share this reading and I wanted to share that it's like such an awesome collaboration with someone who does tarot. Um, and um, well, I'll be doing some more later on, but this was a reveal into what might take place on June 6th, 2028. The magical thing about it is that we actually did, what do you call this? We tried to channel what was through the dice and through tarot, what we got through our clairvoyance and claircognizance, whatever, right? Declares and clairaudience and all that stuff. And we got so many things that the images came through and the sounds, the messages that came through were actually evidenced through the charts. And it was just like bam, 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 one after the other. I love when that happens, not only for me, but when there's like, people going through readings and people getting messages. And, you know, I hope that this heals everyone. I hope that this, at the very least, even if it doesn't really heal right now, I hope that it actually provides insight into what we're headed into and what that can also mean in the present moment. Because really, where the reality is, predictions are not meant to be set in stone. Which is funny because near the end of the video, it's not going to be the video. Um, the card that she pulled up at the end after in off camera was like a card that says not set in stone. It was like a lot of things that were happening in this reading that were just like amazing. I love when this happens. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoy what you get. Yeah, so I'll see you guys at the end to the video. And I think that's about it. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, see what I can do. All right. So I'm going to go from left to right. Ooh, this is 6, 2, 6, 6. Oh, it's interesting. Are you hearing year? I'm just getting the year first. I'm going with the year first. Um, are you getting like a month and a day as well?
I'm hearing 2028.
Okay. So if it's 6, 2, then we could, okay. We'll go with that. That's fine. 6, 2, but I got 6, 2, 6, 6. What do you think that means? What do you feel that means?
Yeah. Yeah, 6 6 feels right.
Okay. Okay. 6, 6 as in 2066 or
As in,
July 6th.
I'm feeling like June 6th of 2028. So the
Okay.
6 6 portal.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sure. That's totally fine. Okay. July 6th, 2028. Okay. 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 Let's see what you get then. What are you getting? I'm going to type this up as you say it because I'm going to look up this charts and see what you get using asteroids later.
I'm hearing that it's just a date of change, like major change. I'm hearing astronomical change, but I don't know if it's like if that means like just big change or if it means like maybe astrological change. I don't know.
Mhm. Okay. Go deeper. I'm hearing tan something with tantric, tantalizing.
Well, tarot wise, we have
Mm,
the Empress, Judgment, and Two of Wands. I'm also using cat tarot, so these are all kitty cats.
that's good.
Um,
Good. Nice.
and Two of Wands. So, um, diving into what this particular date means. Um,
Mm,
with the Two of Wands, it's a day of really looking ahead and deciding how you want your life to look. Um, which a lot of people like to manifest with like the portals, like the 6-6 portal, 2-2, or whatever. Um, so that kind of makes sense of why you'd be planning that day. Um, Judgment and the Empress. With the Empress, it's all about taking care of yourself, and it can also be, I'm being reminded that it can also be birthing of new ideas, birthing of new things, whether that is literally birthing for some people or just creating new things, new ideas, new projects. Um, and then the judgment, I'm being drawn to this white feather here, in the card. And the white feather seems very significant for some reason. And when I think white, I think purity. I think new beginnings, sort of like a clean slate. And what I'm hearing is it's the start of your new life. Um, so bringing it all together, this portal is something that is very massive, in terms of manifestations, getting what you want, and I'm getting this picture of basically like now that we've had all this wreckage, all this ruin, how do you want to move forward? Not to say that there's going to be anything bad that happens, but it's kind of like the tower card, right? Where things like foundations you have to go back to your foundations to be able to build a tall building. You got to make sure those foundations are sturdy. And when they're not sturdy, sometimes, for buildings, the best thing to do is to demolish them and start fresh with the foundations.
mm, mm,
So that's sort of what I'm getting about this date. What
mm,
what are
mm.
you getting?
Hmm. Right away, I got triangles. Often signs for changes, right?
Right.
Ooh. It's something like we're being watched. Ooh, a lot of geometric shapes. I don't know what these are. I've never seen them before. Whoa. It's like five, but there's like an unevenness to it. It's like a star almost, but it's like It's almost like splits of geometric shapes going this way, going that way. It's almost like we're being shown multiple pictures. We're being shown going like this, but it's all kind of from a watchful eye. I'm feeling like eye is the key here. I feel like it's tied to being more aware and conscious and bringing to your, connection to what is here on Earth on this form and the form itself with the formless. We've already kind of seen this before when you talk about the fifth dimension, but it feels a lot like that, where it's like, hmm, seeing this person going like, when they're on, when the table lifts up and it becomes sort of this, I don't know if it's for experimentations or like being at the dentist or like, the person's like this, but it's almost like it's not threatening. It's just like there's something that's, I don't know if it's something tied to technology, tied to how we're going to, I don't know. I feel like it's symbolic in terms of like, I don't know. I'm seeing this doctor, then I'm seeing this patient, and it's almost like it feels like a different way of approaching medicine. It could be tied to medicine. And it's funny because earlier my medical astrology books just fell off. And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure I did not do that. They just fell off. And I'm just like, whoa. Okay, so there's something tied to medicine. I don't know what it is. It's a new approach. I'm seeing this. It's different. It just feels different. I don't know what it is. It's like I've never been there. And it's like a doctor, but also a scientist at the same time. It's almost like I don't know if it's a new vocation.
Well, so, and I know that's just because I just graduated from college, not like a year ago.
Ah,
But they're doing a lot of programs now where it's becoming more and more common for MD and PhD programs to exist. So you become a medical doctor and a PhD doctor in the same program. So you're doing
okay.
medicine and research.
Okay. So I guess merging careers, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, doctor scientist, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then on the grander scheme of things, yeah, merging careers, finding a little it's so funny. This is also a generational thing. I'm hearing the theme song Hannah Montana, The Best of Both Worlds, where it's like, you got the best of both worlds.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. I've only seen one episode of Hannah Montana, but I know about the show. Yeah, yeah, that totally makes sense. Best of both worlds. That totally makes, yeah, because I'm seeing that merging, but I'm wondering what that feels like. It feels like this splitting. It's almost like I'm seeing the same picture, the same image of the eye with the triangles, and it's very, I don't know how to describe it. Like I'm hearing kind of, have you heard of Rosicrucian stuff, like the old teaching, the Hermetic principles? It feels like it's tied to something like that, where it's going, and then but it's again, it's like the eye opening, but it's like multiple layers of it, and it's coming at us, but in a very sort of, it's welcomed. It's not anything. Again, I don't know. It's not anything threatening. It just feels like, oh, we're going through a change, and it's like it's normal. We're going to accept it. It feels like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's the same energy I'm getting where like it's not like, oh my gosh, the world's ending kind of change, but it's
Yeah.
like, okay, this is like a wanted change more than
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, put that in like that one. Okay. Bring anything else? You can combine it to see what you get. You're getting, I guess, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't know what it is. It's a hospital visit. This grandmother is probably tuning in more psychically. But it feels like, oh, it could be a grandmother and there's this grandchildren. Um, and they're going like, hi, grandma. And she's like, oh, thank you for coming. And then there's just support. Okay, like you feel like, okay, there's a key there. It's support. There's that, again, that merging of the old and the new. Feels like support. More triangles. Okay. More triangles like this right in front of me. It's like a tunnel of triangles going like this. Yeah.
What I'm getting about the eye is, and also like you keep motioning to your third eye, which I don't know if that's intentional, or if that's just what's how it's manifesting. But I'm getting sort of like this this opening awareness to a little bit more like spirituality, um, and being more accepting to things outside of the societal norm,
Mhm.
um, and both a spiritual perspective and just a more like natural perspective where it's like if the norm is being a straight white male, then outside of the norm would be anything else, for
Mhm.
example.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
being more accepting towards just something outside of a societal norm. But tarot wise, I have the Temperance card
Mhm.
and the Ten of Wands. And so with this date, like with this change, um, it's not so on this date, it's not gonna like all come in at once. That would be overwhelming. We don't want that. The universe knows we don't want that. It's not going to happen like that. It's going to be more, it's the start of a big change. It's a gradual change. Um, and with the Ten of Wands, I'm also getting it's the start of delegating things. So we're in sort of this overwhelm right now. And generally, when we're in a state of overwhelm, at least on a personal perspective, I can speak to this. It's sort of feeling like you have to do everything yourself. It's this hyper independence. But um, around the 6/6 portal on 2028, um, there's going to be sort of this perspective shift where it's no longer being like, I have to be the one to do this. I am the only one that can do it right, blah, 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 blah. Now it's tuning into your community, your supports, and seeing where can I pass some of this off to? Who can help me with this? Um, and being patient in the fact that not everything's going to get done overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, wasn't built overnight. It was built over a very long time and acknowledging that this change is going to happen over that long time.
Okay. So,
That's all I got for the moment.
no,
You
that's
have
okay.
anything
That's okay.
else?
No, I think I'm hearing that's it for now. I'm hearing we'll prepare you. Oh my God, I'm getting the Christian song. Prepare the way. Oh my God. I grew up very Catholic and very evangelical Catholics. But they gave me that song because they know I know that song. So it's like, but the song is Prepare the Way. So there's something about preparing the way. So, but it's more like them doing it, like as in we're being guided. And this is already a year after the first contact with extraterrestrials. So I thought, ooh, goosebumps. Oh, okay, good. Love it. Did you see? Oh, okay. We'll talk about it after. Um, okay, I think that's it for now. Okay, so let's see what the charts will say. Ooh, I'm kind of curious about what they will say. I'm going to share. my little thing here. Okay, let's see what we get. Uh, oh, I closed that window. Let's see. Question.com. You want today, you want to change it to, oh, 6 June 8th, general time, that's fine. And then let's see what asteroids match in. Uh, mhm. You're actually getting the first glance at how I kind of do it. As in, I usually do it as a recording, but yeah, so that's cool. Okay, so let's see what 2028. Okay, let's see here. The first thing that came to mind right away is the moon. So Clitia Eros retrograde child. Okay. I can see why. Says Clitia often because it's time more tied to the moon here. It's almost like that's where the dependence comes in because Clitia was dependent on Helios. She was going like, save me, I want you. She's the one who was like obsessed with Helios. And she was basically going like, oh, you're my God kind of thing. It's very so that ties in exactly with the whole like balance of independence and hyper independence. But because it's in the sign of Sagittarius, it's almost like, oh yeah, freedom. But in this case, it's like a balance of the elements of the moon with connection, emotional connection, but at the same time, freedom from that. It's society, it's culture, it's foreign stuff. So that totally makes total sense. And 6 degrees trying to, where is this one here? It's fire. Is it trine? Am I seeing trine? Hold on. Because there's so many planets here. Uh, Alcesti. Oh, one of the fates. One of the fates or one of the Furies. Let me double check. Oh no, she's not. She's about loyalty. No, she's not. She's one of the I don't know, one of the goddesses. So it's about damsel in distress, kind of like, divine intervention, shadow to light, unconscious to conscious, that cold love or marriage connection, magnets for leaders or rescuers and saviors. Um, Substitutions, that's where the change is coming in as well. It totally makes sense. And it's in Leo. So that to me shows that whole like systems would be part of this, leaders would be part of this whole process. You know this already with Leo, right? So it's like people who are in charge, father figures possibly as well. Um, let's see where the sun is here. The sun is in Cancer. So that ties in with the whole, it's going to be more of a communal thing for sure, starting with families, I would say. Um, that totally makes sense. Rescues concert
You
arranged
know,
arranged marriages. Mandela effect is also tied to this. That's interesting. Um, warnings and signs, omens are part of this. I think that's why I was getting to triangles or something about it. But NDEs is also part of this. So it's almost like the shift is going to happen where we die to the old and revert to the new. Some sort of thing like that. Um, uh,
I'm
and
being drawn to the
tarots.
fact that,
Yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, 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 go ahead. Don't talk about that.
I'm being drawn to the fact that if you could scroll down just a teeny bit so I could see it,
Sure.
that Venus, Mercury, and
Ah,
Uranus are all conjunct with one another in Gemini.
makes sense.
Because I feel like that's not it, it it feels like it's not um common to have those three planets all together like that. Um, and then
Makes
also
sense.
looking at the fact that Mercury is going to be retrograde, Venus is going to be retrograde. So time for reflection,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
really getting introspective about your life, about how you want change to happen. For me, Gemini tends to elicit change, at least in my
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also that seeing the duality in things, right? It's the seeing the good and the bad,
Mm-hmm.
the light and the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Recognizing that our lives are not black and white. It's also that gray area as well.
Perfect. And we also, I see there the addition Amphitrite. Amphitrite was like Salacia. She was, she was the goddess that was chased by Poseidon or Neptune, but she didn't want to be chased. She's like, I have my own boundaries. It's all about, I want to be single. I want my own life. But here we have the shift. It's conjunct right there with Uranus. It's almost like the shift from going like, that's exactly what you just said there. I love it. You said like the shift from like, I've got to do it all myself. Like, no, there's a shift in mindset, shift in actual like emotions with Venus, right? So it's like, and being opposite of the moon, it's like, oh yeah, we definitely gotta mesh that. We gotta integrate. We gotta put that together. So it's gonna happen like it's almost like it's almost like we don't have a choice in a way. Not that we do have a choice, but we kind of and we're growing through it too because Anteros here is maturity. He rules maturity. He's not like Eros, like the child, or he's the brother. So and Dejanira here represents like there might be what is Dejanira about? There might be sort of like toxins we have to face and head on because it's in Aries, right? To go and just like face the toxins, face the betrayals, face the stuff that you've got. Exactly what you just said there. Exactly what you just said there. I love it.
And
Um,
adding on to that, Chiron and Saturn are like perfect, almost perfectly conjunct in
yeah,
Aries there. And so when I think of Aries, I think of like feeling like you're doing everything on your own, really bearing the weight of the world. And so with Chiron being, the wounded healer, we're dealing with that wound of hyper independence, of feeling like we have to do everything alone, and really, changing that perspective of being like, hey, I actually am not alone in this. I can call upon my community. I can call upon other people. I can seek out help where there is help available.
absolutely. And Chiron is also integration, right? So awesome.
Yes.
I love that it's like the Alcesti here is square Chiron, Saturn, and Pluto. It's almost like it's almost like we're being called to really change and shift. And because Pluto's in retrograde, it's just like, okay, total focus, total concentration, total like just you gotta bathe in that. But also you have Ganymede opposite of that too. Look at that. Ganymede, Desdemona. And Desdemona is like inner trust in yourself, like complete loyal, like undying, it's just that whole Desdemona was like even if you get misunderstood, misconstrued, ostracized, she still was like, I still love you. I still love you more than yourself. And Ganymede here is that whole like service. It's sort of a service, but in this case, it's service to yourself. And it's like he's a cupbearer to Zeus. So it's like, and it's interesting because it's like going into the depths of like the scorpionic energies, but it's all in the fixed signs. So it's like there's this focus on really like taking the time to actually work through the changes that are happening. And it's mental, it's physical, it's emotional, it's metaphysical, it's energetic, it's all of it. And it's just going to be this sort of a bathe. I'm hearing bathing. It's like we're going to bathe in it. Yeah, right. Totally. Oof. Ugh, I love it. Okay. So, let's see what else. What else did you say? Projects? Something about different projects. That's the one that's where that's the project thing you're talking about there. That's the Saturn also in Oh,
Oh yeah.
Saturn. Oh, that's in Taurus. Yeah, I know it's a little confusing with the asteroids. Let me double check though. Is Saturn, can you see that? Saturn and yeah, it's
Oh
Taurus.
yeah, it would be
Yeah.
in Taurus, yeah, not
No, 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 that's
Aries.
okay. That's okay. That means it's like a like focus, right? It's like the building also, right? It's a building thing. Um, and then you said massive portal. Let's go into, let's take those out. And I'm going to add series because you, if it's a massive portal, that will show us with series right there. It's 11 degrees.
And of
It's
course it's in
actually,
Scorpio.
of course, and it's retrograde too. Sorry, I don't want to swear in a video, but okay, I love this.
No, you're
Okay,
good.
that's awesome. Okay. And it's square to Pluto too. And Pluto rules Scorpio too, right? So, oh, I love that. And there's a T square right there. So showing me just like the focus is on total like change. It's like depth, in-depth change, but it's like calling us to be like, go to your body and go to your body. Um, the quincunx is actually quincunx to is that Uranus? What that one here? One second. Series. Let's go to series actually. Yeah, it's quincunx to Uranus right there. So that means it's like we have to adapt to the changes in our minds and changes in also our vicinity, our immediate environments, and any sort of skills we probably have taken for granted, things that we kind of just put aside and be like, okay, wait a second, I can actually set my mind into this and actually be tenacious, but in a way that is more like shifting to the change. It adaptability meets tenacity, if that makes sense. So that's,
Mhm.
I love it. Oof, I love these downloads. I love reading with you. I love this. It just flows. I love it. It's just,
And
whoa.
also earlier we said that the sun was going to be in Cancer, but I would like to make that correction that it is in Gemini.
Oh, I didn't see
Really,
that. Okay.
yeah. So, because before it looked like it was in Cancer, but it's actually
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Gemini. But I still think that community aspect still applies to Gemini.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
because I think Gemini, I think third house, which is, I mean, really the 11th
Oh, yeah, yeah.
house is all about community, but I think the third house is equally about community. At least in my
Yes,
mind, it is.
yes. Oh yeah, that totally makes sense. And community could be like local communities too, starting out
Mhm.
small and then growing from there. That totally makes sense. Core is also Portal. So let's take a look. I love Core. She's all about like, he's the higher vibration of Jupiter, which is like total trust in the rhythm of life and just going with it. If you can think of like rhythm going like, this is the pulse of life and it's just going with it. And it's all about also transitions and change and just becoming more in touch with our optimistic self, with where it's divine optimism. It's not just like, I'm just going to go for whatever I want kind of thing, but it's a high vibration of Jupiter, right? So where's core? Oh, okay, it's a quincunx to the sun, but it's actually trine to Jupiter, which is going to flow a lot with this whole process of like expansion. And Jupiter rules Sagittarius, right? So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Like people are going to go through these changes. And as you said, remember you said bit by bit. That's exactly what
Mhm.
Jupiter is. Virgo. I love that. And it's trying to core. That means that it's like it's very grounded though. It's retrograde in Capricorn. So it feels like the flow there to Jupiter is saying, um, it's just gonna flow more grounded for sure. Although it's square, although it's square the sun, and that's actually square Mercury and let's see here, Jupiter, Mercury, yeah, Mercury and the sun. It's what is that? Sorry, I had a brain fog there for a second. But it's also Jupiter. It's also Uranus. So the challenges might come with like some people might come, might want to push it a little bit, because of the perfective nature of Virgo, just like I want it pure, I want to be pure, and stuff. And then I'm surprised there's no yod here between what is this? That's
Well, and
interesting.
also, temperance originally came out as reversed,
Oh,
but I felt that it needed to be upright. But if we're going to take it from its reverse meaning, there are definitely some people that are going to be like, I see Jupiter as a planet of manifestation. So there's definitely going to be people who are like, come on, I want these manifestations to happen. Where are
yeah,
they at?
yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
exactly. And I'm like, well, Virgo, slow down.
Yeah, between Virgo and Capricorn, you've got that mix of I want it now. I want it to happen like yesterday. And it's like, no, we have to learn
Mhm,
how to be patient with our with what we want and know
mhm,
that it's all
mhm.
in divine timing.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And remember you actually said earlier about foundations to build sturdiness, and sometimes you got to demolish things. That's wonderful. The demolishing I feel is coming from Neptune here because it's all
Right.
about disillusion, right? And then what is this? But it's trying to the moon. And again, it's a lot to do with the thoughts. You see this whole placement here where it's like trying, 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 trying. It's like Pluto's going like, no, you're gonna listen kind of thing, right? So
Mhm.
um what is this? Old versus new. Oh, old with new. Where did we get that there? The old with the new, I believe, is tied. Oh, the nodes. That's the old with the new. Okay. But it's also with what do you call this? With Aquarius, right? The old with the new.
Mhm.
Usually, interesting. Yeah, I feel it's the nodes. Okay. Hyper independence. We kind of got through that. I'm the only one. Turning community. What else did you say? Might happen over a long time. That's a Capricorn thing. That's totally makes sense. Uh, what else did you say in the beginning? Clean slate. That's a Neptune continuously shifting everything. But the moon rules. I feel like the clean slate is going to happen through. Where is this one here? Because it's usually clean slates are usually going from the mutable signs to the cardinal signs.
Mhm.
So I feel like the nodes have come in and there was a clean slate in the beginning anyways, because the nodes move opposite of the sign, the planets, right? So
Mhm.
let me see what I get here. I feel like I'm missing an asteroid. Ah, I know what I'm going to go through. Um, who are the new beginnings? Phaethon is what I'm getting. That's interesting. But there's also um, um, uh, is it Haumea or is it also? Oh, I'm getting the other ones. Okay, they don't want me to look at. Okay, let's look at Ptah and Let's look at Haumea. Let's see what we get here. I seriously. Okay, no, they want me to insist on Aurora. That's her name. Aurora, and there's another asteroid before her. Eos. Okay, let's see what Eos is. Oops. Oh, not, there we go. There you go. Ptah is right there with the moon. So people are going to that. And Eos is right there. And Leo. I love it. I love when this happens. Okay. And Aurora right there with the South Node, the collective like familiarity, Aurora's like shifting. It's like, well, it's nice to know that you come in, you know, you're drawn to your past and nostalgia and everything that's family related, but it's time to shift that. I'm getting that feeling like, and then Haumea here is actually, it's almost close to Ceres, but it's actually opposite of Saturn and Chiron. I love it. And there's another T square to EOS. So EOS is the focus, and be like, okay, you see this? Oh, and the grand fixed square right there. EOS, Saturn, Chiron, Pluto, Haumea, and also Ceres. This portal, like you said, huge. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Okay, that's that. Wondering, I'm hearing bonuses. I don't know what it is. What bonuses? Okay, they said we can't tell you. Okay, got it. From my end, I don't know. What are you getting? What else are you getting? Anything?
Um, so I'm not getting anything on bonuses specifically. They keep telling me talk about series, and
Ah,
the Ceres asteroid, to some astrologers is known as sort of like the self-care asteroid.
yeah.
Um, and I'm being reminded to explain the psychology of our brains and change. So our brains are wired to like things that are familiar, things that are predictable. We like patterns. Therefore, we don't like change. We view it as threatening, we view it as unfamiliar, and we hate unfamiliar things.
Yeah.
So with that, especially given that this change is going to be big but gradual, we want to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and doing what we need to ensure that we're not being overwhelmed by change.
Hmm.
And so with Ceres and Scorpio, some of the things that we're really being called to do during this period is very similar to what we've already talked about in terms of being introspective, really checking in with your emotions, making sure that you're not bottling them up like Scorpios love to do. I say as a Scorpio, um, and making sure that those emotions are getting expressed, making sure that they are being processed, and
Hmm.
really figuring out like what that means for you. Does that mean going out and like physically expressing those emotions through like
Mm.
physical activity or perhaps verbalizing? Is it through journaling? And with Scorpio, so going from like a natal astrological chart perspective, if your series was in Scorpio, then doing things that involve water, like swimming, um, taking a bath, taking a shower, things that are really cleansing in that nature can help with releasing emotions, as well as I'm getting just being able to admire the fluidity of life
Hmm.
and going with the flow and being like, well, this might not be exactly how I wanted it to happen, but I do like blah 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 blah
Hmm.
that is happening. um I'm seeing if there's anything else they want me to share about this placement. Also, Scorpio is the sign of rebirth and transformation. Um, and so this change very much is a rebirth. We are, um, this portal marks the beginning of sort of the transition between the tower and the star in tarot.
Hmm.
So the star comes right after the tower for those at home that don't know. And basically the star marks this renewed sense of hope, this idea that the wreckage has happened, what the worst things that could happen have happened. Now we're picking up the pieces and deciding how to move forward. And
Hmm.
that's not to say that the worst is going to happen. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying that through this change, um, changes are going to take place. Your foundations are going to be rocked a little bit. And now we're moving into we've gone through the death period. We are now going into this rebirth period of how do we want our lives to look like from this point on?
Hmm.
Um, what changes do we want to invoke? How do we want those changes to manifest? And so, that's again
Hmm.
going back into that introspective part of just what our chart here is really saying.
Yeah. That,
Okay, they're saying leave it at that. So I will leave it at
okay.
that.
That's fine. It's funny how you mentioned the whole rebirth thing because even though Pluto is usually also rebirth and it's also Scorpio, Haumea is also a rebirthing process. So that Haumea is, she represents the egg, the life within us, the birth in us. Like she's the high vibration of Neptune. And she's all about like finding the worth in us, the magic within us to be like, oh yeah, I totally got. I don't need to go into some sort of magic like Neptune does, right? I don't need to go into sort of like delusion or veils or anything. I need to cover anything up. I know I can do this. And she just goes shifts. She just rebirths herself. So she's the one that often represents also the community stuff. Like she's tied to the Pacific Islander cultures, where personally I come from it, where it's also about communities. But Haumea is so out there. She's a dwarf planet. Seeing that it's combined with, it's not a conjunction with Ceres here, although if there were asteroids there. But either way, it's still in Scorpio. So I feel like there's this sort of like combination of trusting your earthly self. And I noticed about Scorpio because Scorpio has its shadow in its opposite sign, Taurus. Scorpio also likes to work with the physical. So with Ceres here, and Ceres rules epigenetics and how the environment that we create can manifest through how we shift in our DNA, both mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, metaphysically, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It just like comes to show that it's like this whole opposition aspect to Saturn Chiron is showing us like, oh, okay, we really have to integrate how even the old stuff can still make sense. Just have to restructure it, recalcify it, and face our fears, literally facing our fears. What are we not? What are we afraid of? How do we break those boundaries? That's so Taurus. So I love this is all happening. And did you notice this little, I forgot what shape this is, this whole rectangular shape? Did you notice that? It's like
Oh yeah, I see it now.
this, it's a total flow of between people being able to do this through communities individually and through leadership and actually communicating fully on with these changes and starting from new beginnings. And with Ptah there, it's like he was actually Ptah was the god that came before Ra. People most of the time kind of like say, oh, this Ra is the god of all gods in Egyptian mythology, but actually came from Ptah. Ptah represents the return of what was always there. It's like your inner sovereignty. That's Ptah. So I love that that's happening right now. It's like this is showing us, oh, goosebumps. Okay. Okay. It's a lot. Okay. That's good. Thank you. Um, so good. Awesome. Well, I think are we getting anything else? Okay. So I'm hearing to be continued. Okay. Awesome. Well, I think that was it. I don't know. I don't know about you. How did you? I hope that made sense for everyone who's going to see this. I'm going to share this in the groups too. Thank you for also being part of this. Yes, and just it's magical. I love how powerful it was. So I'm going to stop recording, but thank you guys for those who are viewing this. Thank you for watching. Um, I'll if there's any questions that you might have, we'll continue on with this. There's a lot of collaborations that we're planning on doing as well. Different people who are, predictions are not meant to be like set in stone, but it's sort of us to look into the potential and the possibilities and the probabilities of the options we have as humans. We have free will, you know, and we do have fate and destiny, yes, but those are like the what we have already here, and it's almost like it's up to us to decide what are we going to do about that? So this goes hand in hand with what was read. So thank you to all those who are watching this one. We'll see you guys later as I stop this recording. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you got something out of it. I definitely did for myself, and I hope that was kind of an inspiration, one way or another, for you guys. If you have any comments, comment below. Any other stuff that we put in, look at the comment section below the video. Okay, and then we'll see you on the other side. We'll see you for in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my friend Steph, who helped me with the recording as well, and many other things. And thank you guys for supporting me and watching me here. Yeah, just I love being able to do this metaphysical stuff, among many things. So may you find your sovereignty, I call primordial sovereignty, and yeah, we'll keep working together. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye.